I did ice hockey, I did football, or like soccer is the British word or whatever. And I did all these kind of sports, but automatically just went into motorsport because all the other sports were boring, you know. But the adrenaline you get when you drive is just something else. And then I knew that's what I want to do.
Unleashed with the Dingo and Danny, fueled by Monster Energy.
All right, so we have Petter and Oli here of, well, Sweden and Norway. Kind of like it's a mix. It's kind of a weird... This is our first father-son duo, by the way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But it's actually in Norway, you know, but it's just the mother who's, you know, putting in the Swedish too much, you know.
50-50.
Yeah.
50-50?
50-50.
I feel like we're more Swedish now.
No chance.
not?
Yeah,
No.
I feel like they are a little bit.
He had been to Norway, and you know, it's gets stronger.
Connection.
You know? Connection.
But I
here.
read on the profile that you're Norwegian and you're Swedish.
Yeah, I like Swedish. You know, they're chill. They're average. you know?
They're chiller.
Just average. We're happy with
Better
average.
candy in Sweden, I've heard.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
My dad told me to change the Norwegian passport, and I said, well, Sweden is in Europe. And he said, well, the Norwegian passport, when you open it, it comes oil out of it.
See, that's a passport I'd want too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you guys have like, are you allowed to be a dual Norwegian, Sweden citizen?
Could be.
I'm a dual citizen.
I'm only Swedish.
Right.
Yeah,
So
we can do it. We can do it. Yeah.
You can do it?
Yeah, we will do it.
You will do it?
Yeah. When he was a little baby, young, you know, he was 100% Norwegian and 50% Swedish. You know, then the percent doesn't work logically.
When
but
I started to understand percentage, I realized it's 50-50.
Yeah.
That's funny. And then we have, as always, Danny Cass, 2-time Olympic medalist.
Hello.
And then our resident Brittany Palmer, UFC Octagon girl.
Hello.
How you doing, Brittany?
Hi.
Have you ever been in a rally car before?
No, I would love to though.
We have to do that. then.
Yeah.
So, Peter, explain to us exactly what World Rally, the championship is, and like the difference between, say, F1, NASCAR, and the exact like kind of difference in the driving.
Well, Formula One is like if you take the FIA Championship, it's the biggest sport basically. Rallying is like number 2, always been. Formula One, it goes on the track. We drive on, you know, all the roads you can think of. It can be whatever, on gravel roads, snow roads, mud, tarmac, you know, everywhere in a big part of a country, basically, you know. So it's not on normal main roads. So that's, and we have a co-driver in the car who tells
your
you the
job
road.
now.
So that will
okay.
be your job.
Beautiful.
Wait, so we're switching?
Well, I think they want her to be the navigator.
Navigator.
Yeah.
And then Ollie's
And
now
then
the
he's
co-host.
the driver
Oh,
Yeah, basically.
of the car.
oh.
So I tell him where to go, which is usually my position in cars anyways. I like to tell everyone where to go.
From my experience, they usually can read the maps a little wrong. Take a longer way.
Who?
Well, my girlfriend does that all the time.
Right.
Don't let me in.
I was a
But
navigator once
like
in my life.
Yeah, sorry.
I navigated the Baja 1000 with Hugo Oliveira, who was a Mexican NASCAR driver, and and obviously Baja is different. Dakar is different than Rally again. But for the people who don't know, Baja 1000 is basically a race through the middle of the Mexican desert, and it's probably the scariest thing I've ever done.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
dream is to do that.
Basically, I spent 12 hours peeing myself in my suit and then getting out and changing tires in the middle of dirt as people are flying by me. And my navigating experience, I thought was going to be way different. I thought I was going to be like changing the iPod and making sure the music's good. And I spent 12 hours pissing myself, letting cactuses fly into my face because we were driving off road. So I don't think I'd be quite the good navigator. But you guys are our first father-son duo interview, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
and then that must be very interesting on so many levels to work directly with your son or work directly with your dad while doing what you love doing. But like, it's never been a father-son duo. I don't think in snowboarding.
I'm sure, but like there's been father coaches and son, you know, I feel like that's kind of the same. Like you coach him and you kind of showed him the ropes, or maybe the other way around.
No, not the other way around.
Well, I mean, I think the really cool part about it is to have like a champion father who competed in that sport. And now, you know, Peter's taking the ropes or
But
the
for
belts.
sure, it's never easy to come after the father, you know. This is
No.
so you have to be quite strong personality, and because it's always a lot of bullshit around and people talking, you know. And you have Brian Deegan and Haley Deegan, and now Ken Block and his
daughter actually
his daughter actually
is
driving really well.
She's fast.
Yeah.
She's
Really?
That's rallying, by the way. If you
that's rallying.
what she
So
does.
she would potentially be doing the same.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you
Potentially
competed against Ken?
beat us.
Yeah, I've been driving against Ken many times. I've actually done it with Brian Deegan also in rallycross.
How's Brian on
2020.
rallycross?
Absolutely mad, you know. He's flat out, and he's pushing the limit, that's for sure. But really good fun.
Did you ever compete when they did X Games?
No, I think it was over. I think my good friend, you know, Colin McRae did it.
So that was going to be my first actual kind of question. My experience on rallycross is I grew up playing Colin McRae.
I can tell you a story there.
Yeah, let's go.
Because the Colin McRae game,
Yep.
the first one that came out, me and Colin, because we were teammates, and we were sitting in every hotel room all around the world and testing this game and writing down how to improve it. And so I was a part of the first game to develop together with Colin, actually.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys were Subaru at the time?
Now Ford.
Ford.
Yeah. And I can tell you, this guy, absolutely incredible. He's a tough guy. And again, no bullshit and hard man. But, you know, sometimes I was in a big problem because I crashed a lot when I was young. And then he was number one crasher, you know, when he was young. So he helped me to come through actually a difficult part of my career and then ending up to be a world champion. So he was a very good friend, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. Because that video game at the time was a very popular video game.
Unbelievable. It's a good game still, you know.
Yeah.
And his son was born at the same time as Oliver.
Yeah. So
And,
we were the same age.
But of course they crashed in the helicopter and died his son and Colin.
I didn't know that.
No, so
2007 it was a long time ago.
Wow, both the kids went down. But him and his son went down.
yeah,
Oh wow.
That's so sad.
I was unbelievable. But yeah, he was mad. That is for sure.
Yeah, and that game, like that definitely paved the way all over. And you came from a super racing background. You're obviously it was both your parents were in Bilcross.
Yeah, Bilcross is actually the autocross they say in English, you know. But Bilcross is the name. It's actually the biggest motorsport actually in the national, you know, Sweden and Norway basically, you know. But it's a very low class. The cars that time cost maybe $250, and so it's maybe 300 people driving, you know. So this is where we started, build cars. We built maybe 60 cars since we were 10 years old up to 18, me and my brother, and 100 engines. So we were actually mechanics and building things, you know, and in some sort of way we also was quite good to drive after being driving on the farm for many years, you know.
But I feel like that's how, and it's stupid here, but I'm going to reference the Ford versus Ferrari movie, and it was similar with, and then I'm going to forget the driver's name, but like it was similar to Shelby, and then the guy that helped him kind of build those cars out. And he ended up kind of being not like. Ford didn't want this guy in their car, but Shelby was like, this is the guy that knows how to drive these cars.
You're absolutely right. This is the part also, you know, who can come from Norway and into the World Championship in a big sport. The window is very little.
Yeah.
But of course, I think the shortcut when we came into because I did rallycross and hill climb and won, you know, like everything. And then one guy, he just watched me and I came to a test, and then I didn't speak English at all, but I was fast, and then it's just hooked like this. And after that, you know, the whole ride and the life have been incredible, coming from a farm, you know, and this happening. I had no money at all, so you have to work hard, fight hard, and show yourself that you have to be the best. It's not good enough to be second, you know.
Yeah. And how different is it from back then to the day, the equipment, cars, kind of you know, like you were saying, you just were working to make it happen. And today it's sponsorship and all these things are the ones making it happen. Your job is just to stay kind of in front, right?
Honestly, you know, when I came into like a factory team, it was absolutely crazy. It was 350 people, $100 million budgets, and you know, the carrier bag and everything. It was actually embarrassing because I took my own bags and stuff. Don't touch it, but it was unbelievable, a completely different world, and but the passion and enjoyment, you know, it was you know, to even reach it, you know, it was what can I say? It's okay. My mother and father was very good drivers, you know, but it was you know, it has to come from inside your life, you know, that you want it a lot.
But how much does that mean to you to carry the legacy on and now have Oli there with you too? But like, do you probably don't even remember the first race you went to?
No, I don't. I went to many races. I was in Japan when I was 2 years old, and stuff like that. But I don't remember anything, of course. But it's all this. You remember these key things, you know. You remember some people, or you remember the blue Subaru, of course, which is legendary. It's the only thing I remember. But it's all these things you remember from being a kid, and then when you see all that, and then when you're finally in it yourself, like I am now, it's you know, somehow you feel a bit calmer, you know, because you actually feel you know how it is, but you don't, you know. It's quite a strange thing.
Did you always know, like from growing up with it, did you know like for sure this is what I'm going to get into? I'm going to follow my father's footsteps. Like was it, you just knew it?
Yeah, I don't think you think about it.
Yeah.
It's just automatic because the whole family is doing it.
Right.
But anyway, we tried to. Pernilla is also a rally driver, and her father, and uncles, and aunts, and you know,
the whole mom's here too. So shout out to mom. She's in the background filming.
But actually, we tried to get Oliver into. He did dancing.
How are your dancing skills?
Yeah,
very good. Very good.
I'm a Norwegian champion in dancing.
Are you?
Yeah.
What kind of dancing?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
So
Ballroom.
Yeah, this is actually a strange thing, you know, but
you guys are dancers.
Yeah.
I love that.
The main reason I did it was because it was only girls, you know. And it was like
I love Oli.
It was 10 girls in front, and I was in the back dancing. And then, of course, the motivation of dancing was very high, you know.
Yeah. Your friends are probably laughing at you, but you're the one that's really laughing.
Exactly. No, but I did ice hockey, I did football, or like soccer is the British word or whatever. And I did all these kind of sports, but automatically just went into motorsport because all the other sports were boring, you know. But the adrenaline you get when you drive is just something else. And then I knew that's what I want to do.
You seem to have a strong talent in all of them, though. You know, I mean, not many people can say they can dance, they can do all these other sports, and, you know.
I didn't say I can do them.
Oh.
Well, dance at least. Dance I'm
at
good
least.
at. But yeah, I tried everything. They pushed me to do something else, you know. They didn't want to push me into motorsport.
Well, because as you know, a family from it, it's one of those things where you want them to want to love it, obviously, right?
I don't know. We wanted him to do something else because it is a cruel sport, you know.
Yeah.
When you're coming on a certain level, you know, it's jealousy. It's they're trying to, you know, to destroy for you. You know,
It's that competition.
It's incredible when you're coming to this level. It's so much politics. And it's much more politic now compared with that time I was doing it.
Well, I realized that this year.
I think.
Why? What happened?
It was a harsh year, you know. Proper, you know, you have these older drivers in the team, which are, one was world champion, he was a cool guy. Then you have the other guy who's been in the team for like 10 years. He was like the main guy, you know. And he just killed you from the beginning, or tried at least to kill me from the beginning. And so it's all these kind of politics that I didn't know about. Or didn't expect, and you're like, oh, cool! I'm driving in the factory team in the world championship, and you come there and it's like, bam, straight down, you know. And you're like, oh.
They say that's good for you, though.
Well, this is actually true. One of the guys in the management said, you know, no, we're gonna keep him down, you know.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, you know, this is opposite of what, you know, the mentality is, you know. It's but of course the young guys are coming.
Makes you stronger, you know.
That's true.
So it's all. I think that's just. You learn so much, you know, just in 1 year, more than I did for 20 years of my life.
Right. How many people are your age that are at your level right now?
There's one guy who's 1 year older.
Yep.
He's world champion now.
Yep.
And then the rest are on close to 30. So
right,
I'm the youngest guy right now.
That's crazy. Wow. And that must be a thing too for the change of the guard. There's a huge change in the guard I've noticed with NASCAR right now. There's a huge change in the guard with F1. where it's people look at Lewis as an old guy, Daniel Ricciardo at 33 is an old guy. The rest are all under the age of 23.
But this scares the older generation, basically. You know?
Yeah.
Because because you have to do it quite quickly to calm these young guys coming. Because in rallying, the youngest world champion is 27. I was 27. Colin McRae was 27. So it's 5 of us. So and now he's coming one guy who's 22 to go world champion, and then he is coming. So you know it's a fighting, but you have to. Like she say, you know, you will be stronger.
Yeah. When you're down, you just
it teaches you who you are, right? Like how you succumb under pressure and peer pressure, all that stuff. So
because I've never really had that before. You know,
Yeah.
I've always won everything I've done. You always, it's always been floating quite good. And then when you get this tough time, you realize actually what you need to improve. What you need to work on, and then who you are, as you said. So I think you learn more from this period than what I did from only winning, you know?
You guys had that in pro snowboarding. I mean, probably the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was a big thing of like beating down the rookies. I remember when I was like 16 on my first snowboard trip with only like older guys where I think I was like the play toy. They were like rolling me up in carpets and hotels and stuff. And it
That
was
was
like
a
a
snowboard
beat
thing.
down. Like
you been rolled up in a carpet yet?
Never.
Yeah.
You
Have
missed
you
that.
been rolled
You're
up in a
good.
carpet?
Oh yeah, I was
Normally
beat up
when you
pretty
get rolled
bad.
up in the carpet, at least in Sweden, that means you've been shot, you know?
There's no shooting in Sweden.
Yeah, one place.
Oh,
One place.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But I mean, I think every sport, especially when you are that younger, generation breaking into the tops, they're going to defend, their turf as much as they can and try and keep you mentally down because they know once you kind of connect both fields, that's when you get to jump light years ahead of where they were at that age, right?
Exactly.
Well, and it separates, like they say, like the lions from the lamb. Like how much do you want it? The lions from the lambs.
I haven't heard that one.
Oh, I've heard
just
that
said-
one.
Nice
But it's
kangaroo.
like,
The lions
how
from the
much-
kangaroo.
Yeah.
We want to talk about kangaroos later.
But like, how much do you really want it? Like in my art career, I've had a lot of times where I would do a painting or have a show, and maybe they would critique it in a certain way, but I wanted it so bad that I didn't care, and you just keep going, and it makes you stronger. It's really, I think why you succeed.
But it hurts sometimes also.
It's supposed to hurt.
100%.
If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Exactly.
That's very true.
It's a good topic right now, but I heard something last night. We've been watching this FIFA documentary on Netflix, and he's not Steve or whatever the guy's name is, but he says it's that the art of winning is learning how to win and learning how to lose, and learning how to lose is probably the hardest thing to learn. Danny was 19 when he went to his first Olympics and was like put under pressure. That year he got second in the Olympics, and it was the first American sweep in like 52 years. But I mean, to be under pressure at that age, that was kind of the peak, between that 19 to say 25 of like your career and most snowboarders' careers.
Yeah, and I think, one of the cooler parts about like having pressure put on you as younger is you almost don't feel it as much on your shoulders, where when you are a little bit older, like in your career, sometimes like the nervousness can kind of like really become a thing, and it's harder to control, where when you're a teenager and you're like your young 20s, it's like you don't have to worry about that
really
pressure
care,
because all you are is still trying to prove yourself, right? You're not trying to like defend yourself in that way.
That's true.
Because Peter, you won the FIA, is that, or just say FIA? FIA World Rallycross Championship after 5 wins, 9 podium finishes in 2014, and then again in 2015. How old were you then?
Above 40.
Over 40. Yeah.
So that's where with racing, there's a longevity to be able to still be at peak performance in your 40s and beyond.
This is the thing, rallying, it stops. You need to be really fit, and you have to be beyond the case. But if you do maybe Dakar and rallycross, it's so different. So you don't need all these qualities that you are as a rally driver, because you drive over 3-4 days, and you have maybe 16 hours days. So it's different. Rallycross, you have 2 minutes. And you have to be on it, So, but if you are a rally driver and coming into rallycross, it's actually
easy.
pretty easy.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Or into general track racing, I think, because you do so many things, you do snow, mud, and all these things, and you learn to control something. But you're on a track, it's just one corner, one lap, one condition. Everything is, it gets quite easy, in one way. It was difficult in
Because
another.
Oliver did one rallycross race this year, and he beat the 5-time world champion in his first race. He jumped into the race, Okay, he got disqualified after the victory.
Why did you get disqualified?
Because the car was too heavy.
Have you heard that before? Too heavy car and you get disqualified.
It was an unbelievable joke, but okay, rule was a rule, But anyway,
What made the car too heavy?
it was some plates underneath the car, because we're playing with the weight of the car.
Oh, okay.
The ballast,
So the
balance of
total
car,
weight was correct of what you had, but there was more weight on one of the plates. It doesn't actually mean anything, But the rules are rule.
Okay, I was worried it was going to be like a 24-pack of Monster or something in the trunk. Be like,
Make sure you hold that monster can. Yeah, well,
Cheers.
How important is the navigator?
It's very important. I had one for 10 years, and if you don't have the trust and the friendship, it will never work. You have to trust him 100%, and they are more like a secretary. Intelligent people. Believe it or not, to sit there and not have control of the steering wheel.
But they don't connect in all ways, because if they're gonna sit beside a 20-year-old going, I don't know, 150 miles an hour in the
Into a
forest,
corner.
you need to be quite stupid too,
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
No, but it's good. But to find the right or good ones is not easy.
No.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's almost like they're like an emotional support friend as well, right? Like to calm you down, like you're doing good. Like, do they give you like words of
No.
encouragement? No?
If they do that, then I get pissed off.
Really?
I do my job, you do yours.
Be quiet and tell me where to go.
I feel like it's kind of like a marriage.
yeah, it is. But what you talk about, it is actually, you need to have a good friend with you, because
Yeah.
I was, traveling 280 days a year together.
280?
280 days to do, if you're going to do the World Championship, 280 days. And you need to, have a good time together and have some humor, I had one co-driver one time, and he had no humor at all, and I was terrible. But then you need to change,
What's your favorite? What's your favorite? Snow, mud, rain, nothing.
For me, it doesn't matter. I like all of it, basically.
I like snow.
Yeah.
It's just something else, Just the type of driving style and type of driving. You can go much more sideways, much faster, and you have all these snowbanks. You can just lean into them all the time, So
It is a kick. Snow, I must
is
say, it's really cool.
Very
with the proper studs and flat out. And it's
Right.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite country?
I must say Australia.
Well,
Hey.
that brings me to my next question. So you hit and killed a kangaroo. You hit a kangaroo.
I yeah.
What
So
happened?
I'm really sorry. But
Well, it was at nighttime, because at nighttime,
Don't be in Australia.
What they do
they
is
get rid of a lot of them.
we just had our snowboard team down there, and driving from Sydney Airport to Thredbo, we passed a lot of dead kangaroos and wallabies and wombats on the road. Because what happens is we got a lot of, it's like deer here. There's a lot of kangaroos.
Yeah,
we have and somebody else pointed out to me recently, in Australia, we don't have too many, like if you're a kangaroo or a wombat, if you're in ostrich, we don't have like mountain lions. We don't have lions. We don't have tigers. There's nothing really preying to kill you. You might get a spider bite. You may get a snake bite. That's kind of it. But there's nothing like preying on you.
no, but it was
They have no
terrible.
predators.
So at nighttime, they stand and they stare at the light coming to you, and they're in the middle of the road. So too often it's too late, and you kind of hit a kangaroo. Was that what happened?
I was leading the rally with 1 minute. And
And somebody put a fucking kangaroo on the track. That's what happened.
something like that. But we had a helicopter in front of us who was filming live. And then, I don't know if the kangaroo was scared, jumped straight into the road. And I had the camera in the grill of the Subaru.
Yeah.
And the camera, it's actually on YouTube.
Blood.
And the kangaroo looked straight into the camera lens and exploded in the engine bay.
Oh my God.
It's, anyway, I don't know, 70 kilo, 80 kilo.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah.
But
And
this was
the whole-
daytime.
The whole engine room and everything was just, and it
And it took the car out.
Not me, that's for sure.
But did the car keep going? Did you keep racing?
No. I retired. It destroyed the whole engine.
Yeah, car's gone.
Yeah. So I like Australia. Yeah.
So he's not the biggest fan of kangaroos anymore.
Or they're not the biggest fan of him. I mean,
No.
Yeah, no, the kangaroos are they're kind of a bit pesty.
Yeah.
So anyway, that sucks.
Yeah.
Imagine getting done like you're like about to like win the Olympics and all of a sudden there's a kangaroo in the half pipe.
I mean, there's worse things that could happen, I guess, you know? Because nowadays, if you get taken out by a kangaroo and you're snowboarding, you could become like an internet sensation,
Yeah.
you know?
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win or a lose-win.
A lose-win.
You know? I had a question. I wanted to know, like, because now you guys, you know, navigate for each other here and there. So who's the biggest backseat driver in the family?
He is always in the backseat.
In the backseat.
He's always, you know, I'm always joking about it. You know, when we're just gonna go out for doing some stages and stuff, I have my navigator and then I drive, and then as I'm going out, I always ask him, you know, you want to just jump in the back? Because, you know, he's like, oh, do this, do that, do that. And then we're gonna do, and I said, well, just jump in the back and drive with me, you know?
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
I don't like to sit with him in the car either.
We tried
No.
that a few times.
And it didn't work?
We rolled once.
With your mother. First,
No,
Mom's
with
in
you.
the car.
My mother is the cool one. She's the tough one.
she's
She's the tough one. She's a good car driver. Really good.
Hang on,
We
so
won a race
when
together.
what happens when you roll and the family's like who rolled? You rolled?
I rolled. Okay, again, I have two stories.
Yep.
I rolled with my first time I ever tried a rally car was with my mother. We went to this test, you know, super fast, going flat out. And
You were
then
15.
15. And then one of my last runs, I wanted to impress a little bit, you know. And I got more and more motivated. And then I rolled it 2-3 laps around, you know, smashed the car completely. And then my mother was beside me. And she's like, are you okay? Are you okay? Don't touch me. I said, don't touch me. And then after like 1 minute, she's like, are you okay? Wow, this is so cool. I'm one of the guys, you know? Because I looked at Colin McRae and he rolled all the time.
Yeah.
And then my mother was like, well, this happens, you know? This
So
is
you're
part of the
strapped
game.
into the car upside down. Yeah, that's
But
a
she's
cool.
just so
that's
cool
a
about it.
mom.
She's like, but this is nothing. This is
Yeah.
no problem. They will fix the car for tomorrow. Don't worry.
No. She said, you know, we take the car back and we fix it and you drive out together.
That's
It was
what
the
I
same
said.
day.
Yeah, she was pushing
Yeah.
like hell, you know? Get back into it.
Yeah.
What age was that? That said you were 15.
15.
And that was kind of the time when you guys were like, all right, we're going to focus on Oli kind of being a pro driver.
Well, it was more for fun. You know, you can't be professional. Now these days, a lot of people have a lot of manager and this stuff. But the enjoyment has to be there all the time. If you don't come out from the car with a smile, you know, what's the point, you know?
Yeah.
And you have to enjoy and get that kick, you know, and you see the smile in the eyes and I think this is the thing you need when you are young, and then whatever happens, basically, you know.
Are there any other kind of who did you say your number one competitor was?
Wow, they're all
They're all
the
competitors. Who's the
competitors,
number
but
one right now?
Number one now is a Finnish guy, Kalle Rovanperä. He's
Okay.
1 year older than me only, so he's like the first one who like took the new step for youngsters into rallying, you know. And he started many years ago, so I'm like trying to follow him now, you know. But
So, and you started in cross karts?
cross karts when I was about 5.
5.
Well, my first car I got when I was 5. It was a Beetle.
We still have it
Beatles are sick.
But you were
Herbie's.
driving
Herbie, you know?
a real car at 5 years old?
5 years old.
on the farm, yeah.
That was you had to like go down, press the clutch and the throttle, and then go up again, and then see the road, and then go down again, press the pedals, and then go. So our first car was 5, and then I started racing when I was about 8 with the cross karts and buggies and stuff.
With your grandfather, not with your parents, actually.
No, my parents didn't want to do it. They were like, oh, we do something else. And then my grandpa was like, we got to do this, you know. We gotta do
Right. What did you want him to do?
dancing.
You want him to be a dancer?
Yeah,
Ollie.
think about dancing is much better, you know. First of all, it's much cheaper, you know, and there's much more girls. So I think that could have been a better option.
Yeah.
But anyway, we wanted it, so it didn't come from the parents, basically, you know.
Yep.
That's why we did it, and yeah.
Yeah, well, you never want to push it. Yeah, it's 100%. But fortunately or unfortunately, it's going to go the way that it's going to go, right?
This is how it is.
How old were you when you won your first championship?
National or world?
World.
2003.
2003. And then what was your age?
27.
So that's a good goal to have right there.
I have 6 years to do it now.
Yeah,
so
100%.
It should be no problem.
it should be no problem. No pressure. Thank
But
you.
it's so many things that has to be right around. You know, you maybe know it from the other sports that you need all the people to be with you. You know, it's like Petter, the youngest now. You know, all the management are Finnish. The team is in his hometown. You know, Toyota.
Mm-hmm. All his management's Finnish?
All the management is Finnish.
For all rallycross?
No, for the rally team. you know.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, everything is built. It's 4 drivers there, but everything is built around him. So you need the support from many to have the priority. If you don't get the priority, it's really difficult to get all the details to do it, you know, because it's 250, 300 people. And
It's a lot of people.
it's a lot of people to run a team, basically. But it's coming from the top how it should be. So it has been a difficult season for sure, but that's why we did some rallies or rallycross beside, and we run it ourselves. Then we won everything.
To get that smile, the enjoyment, and the
Yeah.
passion back.
Yeah.
So then he have the full priority, smaller team, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day, as long as we do everything for the person that is doing the job, you know.
Yeah.
So
And then we win.
then we win actually everything we have done.
It's more fun then.
But I like how you say like, and then we win, right? Because there is so many people and so many things going into these races that are just more than just, you know, you and, you know, the navigator for that, you know, that period of time. There's
It's crazy
all
amount of
the
people
laps.
need
I
to put
mean-
in the work, you know, the mechanics just to build the car, prepare the cars, and you know, there's so many different people to do different things, and that's the cool part about being the world team, you know. It's just so big operation. It's crazy.
Yeah, so you're in your junior accolades. You won your first big race at the Flisla at 8 years of age. So that was your first. Was that your
My
first?
first ever win was my first ever year.
Was that your first big? Was that the first big trophy?
First big trophy, champagne bottle. I did not know what to do when
What
I
did
got
you
the
do?
champagne. I don't know. I don't know.
That's what you do. You did it.
well, you did it right. That's what they do in Vegas.
By 2012, you had won the Norwegian Championship and then moved up to the higher class and consecutive championship wins from 2014, 15, and 16. You know, those races must have helped. Those years must have helped build your personal IQ. And then,
No, but the thing is, when you were a kid, you know, you didn't think. It's like you said before. When you're a kid, you don't think about everything around. You don't think about these things, and then you just drove. You drove, and you won. Cool, you were happy, but that was not the main thing. The main thing was to enjoy, and when you enjoyed, you won. And it was natural, you know. And then it just built it up more and more and more, and you won more and more and more, and all these things just come together. And
When we were 16, I won the championship in rallycross, and on the day he was 16, and the monsters and the monster girls as a surprise, you know,
Sweet
on Sweet 16, you know.
Happy
So it was a
birthday.
party and like and Oliver, on the prize giving and everything. It was fantastic, and it was good fun.
I
What country was that in?
those dance
That was
moves
in
came out
Kuwait.
that night.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And then, but a little bit, can you talk about like this adrenaline rush, right? Because I mean, you're in the car, you're going as fast as you can possibly go, and what's that like? You know, that feeling of the adrenaline of racing fast, but then pushing yourself even faster.
you don't get that. You don't get that adrenaline when you sit and drive and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go faster, faster, faster. You're just so focused. So you just sit there like a psycho. You're just like, your eyes are just, you don't blink once.
You don't blink?
Don't blink once. You can do,
Why is that?
I don't know.
What about
How should I don't
'Cause
know.
you're going
What
so
about,
fast,
What about
like-
breathing? Like, because I know the motocross guys, like, will go a lap without kind of like
But
breathing.
this is the typical thing of a Solberg, apparently. Like, we drive with our mouth open. Some people, they drive with their mouth closed, or they, you know, some
Or
blinks.
tongue out. Yeah.
Wait, so what's
tongue
this
out.
driving face look like with your mouth open?
We're like, We drive with our mouth. It's famous on the internet, the Solberg driving thing. You know, we sit with our mouth open.
Yeah. That and English.
do
That
you-
and English.
Yeah, and the English.
Where's
is not
like
very-
when you're driving the speedometer? Is it in the dash?
we
Like-
we don't have the speed.
See, that's what I was wondering because like the fastest I've ever gone in my life, you know, besides a car, was on a snowmobile, and it was on an icy road. But I was going so fast that like I feel like I couldn't look down to see the speed and like feel safe to like look forward.
That's why he
'cause
doesn't blink.
That's
Yeah,
why
exactly.
they
Yeah,
don't.
but
So you don't even know how fast you're going. You just feel
No,
it
but
out through the gears.
It's
and-
just natural feeling. You have the gears
Yeah.
on the dash, and that's it. And then when you drive, you just go by feeling of the speed of the corner or whatever. But it's just natural.
But it's strange, you know, because I had Schumacher, Michael
Is that
Schumacher.
your own
Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
We're gonna pop this up on the people
That's
watching will be
great.
able to see.
it
We'll
looks
pop
like
this
he's
video
about
up
to hit the
and
kangaroo in that one.
Yeah, almost. but I had Michael Schumacher in the rally car with me
You
for many
did?
years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
how
And,
long ago?
And
2006.
yeah, and he said, "This is mad." You know, this
Isn't
is
that crazy?
absolutely
You've
mad.
got the most the gnarliest like F1 driver of all time
Yeah.
gets into what you're doing and says you're fucking nuts.
He said, "You can be a Formula One driver, but I cannot be a rally driver." He said. But then I tried the Ferrari Formula One car, you know. But normally in the forest, you drive 220 kilometers between the trees, and it gives you a massive kick, you know.
150 miles, 160 miles.
When I did the Formula One test, you know, and you do 360, it doesn't feel like, you know, coming to a certain thing because you have no trees, you have open track, so you don't get the feedback basically, you know.
Above 200, you get speed blind.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
And what?
Yeah,
Yeah. What's
what's
speed
speed
line
lined?
like?
No, speed blind.
What's speed? Oh, it just can't
Like
see
you get-
anything.
you just
You're going
get-
too fast.
No, you just get blind of the speed you're
blurry.
actually doing.
So you can't
know?
see?
It's like a sitting in the airplane.
No, but you can see, but it's just like, yeah, when you're in the plane, it doesn't feel like you go 1,000
It
kilometers.
does not
Right.
feel like you're
But I don't
traveling
feel
that fast.
speed blind in there.
Because you're not at the front.
But
No, but the thing
You
is
put
like,
your head out the window, you know what's going on.
if you
Next
do
time
the
you
corners-
fly, just knock your window out and stick your head out the window and see what happens.
No, but
Oh.
the difference is you do 60 miles an hour and you do corners. That feels like crazy fast.
Yeah.
But then you do 150 miles an hour on a straight line. You're like, it's nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the speed difference for your eyes and the brain to connect what speed you're actually doing. That's
But
the speed blind.
it's the braking sometimes that give you a really kick, you know. Also, you know, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
What are some of the major issues you guys have while you're out there? Like the most current like issues, whereas like NASCAR, they're changing their tires, right, to win a race. It's like soft, hard, whatever it is. Obviously, you guys have different tires, but you're on a different endurance. Like, what's something that like is a recurring problem?
It's to choose the right tire is one thing, but the thing is when you are on the stage, you know, my company is called PS 110%, you know. 110 is impossible, but I think it's still possible.
Put in 110% every time.
Yeah. So that's why you
Remember that, Ollie.
you drive at close to possible to 100%. If you can't keep up, then you have to have something in reserve, you know. So the last 10% you have to use sometimes.
Yeah.
And this is the plan. You have to calculate which stages that you feel is maybe the right one to, put in one more gear and do risk, basically, you know. But this last few percent you need to have in your pocket sometimes if you're going to be a little bit better than everybody else. You don't have to be much better, but a little bit better, you know.
Just need a few seconds extra.
And I want to know, like you mentioned earlier about like how you need to be in shape. What do you do to prepare for these races? Like for your strength and conditioning? Like, is it something that you need to focus cardio based? Like, what is your?
A lot of cardio.
Yeah, a lot of cardio, huh?
So I had 7 people in my human performance team, you know. So trainers, physio, master, you know, all this stuff. You know, we had measure the fat percent. I had 6.3 in fat percent when I was driving. Trained 2 times a day.
Wow.
I did a lot of most of the time. I did a lot of boxing because it is good for motorsport basically. But you need to have you know.
feel like you need like a really good core and just like real
Core
sturdy. And like
stability.
maybe because you have that dancing background, you can really just keep your body
Exactly.
sturdy.
Emotion. Yeah, it's good.
Exactly. This is actually what I always thought also. It helps to have the rhythm.
It's like you can feel the car, you know?
Yeah.
You dance
Move
with the
with the
car
car.
because you're going to
Yes.
dance with the car, you know?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
almost
Feel
the
the
same
rhythm.
thing.
Sure.
Feel the rhyme.
Feel the rhythm.
It's bobsled time.
And you need
Sorry, I just threw that out there.
yeah, that was a good one.
I was gonna try and throw in a rally thing. It just didn't go. I kept to it. I'm just looking at some videos here now. Do you guys catch on fire a lot?
Not a-
I did once.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that. You're on fire here.
I'm on fire.
What happened there?
I hit some bushes and then bushes caught fire into the car and the
So
whole
in something
car.
like that, are you able to get yourself out pretty quick?
Yeah, but I went back into the fire to try to get it out.
Yep, makes
to try
sense.
to go, but the marshals that were there, they had empty fire extinguishers,
Oh gosh.
so I had nothing to take the fire out. So that the
But I
car-
stopped it. I was in a fire one time in Cyprus. It was very narrow roads, and I jumped out and run away. But on my co-driver's side, you know, he couldn't open his door
You left him. You fucking left him.
for the second time actually.
That was the guy.
It's
who knows
like a
sense of
real
humor.
marriage.
And then you just stood outside his window and said,
and it was wall on his side, and he didn't come out because it's so tight in there. You
He's
know?
stuck in there.
So I run back again, and I pulled him through my side, and of course the whole car just went
gosh.
completely down. Yeah.
completely gone. It's probably still there.
Yeah.
The car?
Probably.
or the
Left or the
co-driver.
or your
Oh, the
friend.
car driver.
Is the driver? Is the co-pilot
almost-
still there?
I almost thought I killed my co-driver one time also in a big accident in Germany.
Oh yeah.
That is so bad, you know.
Search that.
So yeah,
But
Which one was it?
Petter Solberg
Solberg.
crash, Germany. The car was completely flat.
Yeah,
You know,
smashed
the
flat.
roof. And I saw his blood was coming out, and he had his head between his legs, and he didn't speak. And full bad, you know. And then I run up to close the stage, you know, from the people, and they
Holy
said, "Calm down,
shit.
calm down." They said, and I remember I took the doctor, you know, and just lifted him up. I don't calm down. Stop the stage. Get the helicopter. They got the helicopter, flew him to hospital.
The car.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Yeah, this is. If you talk,
How many times did that roll?
I don't remember,
Right.
but it was rolling.
I'm going to go ahead and say more than once, Dan.
But you know,
Land it back on your wheels, though.
oh, that's a good one.
Stomped it. Stomped.
But the week after,
Oh my God! I can't believe you survived this.
No, I must say,
and you left your co-pilot.
I bite my tongue. No, I couldn't get him out because it was so
Yeah.
so crash.
Is this the craziest crash you've been in?
100%. It's maybe top 3 in the world in rallying. You know?
Ever.
Did you
Ever,
have
yeah.
any injuries out of that?
How about
after
my
that?
tongue? That's it.
You bit your tongue?
yeah.
Oh goodness.
Because the mouth was open.
This is from Mum and Dad. Do you guys are you obviously anytime you get behind the steering wheel, you get in, it's got to be nerve wracking.
But the next 3 rallies after that accident, people said, "Oh, Petter,
Maybe not
now
you."
now he will calm down." And you know, next 3 rallies I won. So Japan, Sardinia, and
Yeah, because no one wanted to get next to you. They're like, don't pass him. Don't you pass him.
Well, we're scaring her now. She doesn't want to go car driving anymore.
No,
now.
I still do.
If you're
I'm
heading to
in.
Vegas or Mammoth, we're ready to go.
She's
Yeah.
kind of fearless. Whoa, that's kind of that's a lot. That's a lot to.
And do you catch air?
Yeah,
much
catch
in-
air.
in the-
60, 70 meters is
Really?
the longest. Yeah, Pernilla have
The record.
a record in Germany. She jumped and it landed, and the car broke almost in 2.
Wow.
And of course, I think she retired also. You know, but she was absolutely crazy, flat out. You know, all the time.
And is there a lot of females in the sport? I
Getting
mean,
much more.
there's more.
Now
more,
it's
yeah.
getting more and more. Yeah.
Love that.
It's good. They're really fast though. Like there's
Yeah.
one girl now who's super fast in rallycross, and she's in the world championship and like top 5.
Yeah.
So you know they're getting really fast. But we need that. We need that,
Yeah.
you know. So
Do you think they'll
maybe
ever
you
be?
can start now.
I might, you know. One more thing I can do.
I got lost in here. I got lost because I indulged in videos.
I think one of my favorite things about rally car is like it seems like it is like you say, you know, for females it's awesome to have them, you know, at the top of the sport too. But I feel like you really have this like attainable racing from the like fans looking in because you can go, you know, afford one of these cars and it's not like a, you know, Ferrari F1 car.
When you're in
something.
WRC, the cars are
I know
like,
they're obviously major.
I think the cars they're driving
Well
down are a
done.
little bit more expensive.
Yeah,
than
but
maybe you
I
think.
still feel like it gives this like viewer this ability to like be like, yo, I can get this, you
As
know,
a road car.
Volkswagen or this Honda, put a few grand into it, and I'm gonna go full.
Well, that
tilt.
WRX was world famous.
It's unbelievable. The
Like that
sales.
game and what you guys did essentially for that car, like put Subaru, I feel like, on the map.
You know, the countries who won, you know, this was selling massively amount of cars, you know, and radio control cars, and marketing. I think they sold 25 million, over 25 million dollars, you know, just in radio control.
Yeah,
That's wild.
And things. And in Norway, they sold triple the sales of Subaru that time because normally Subaru was a man with a old man with a hat, you know, and they turn it around to.
Youngsters.
So marketing works, you know.
My mum was a Subaru driver.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, big time. She had 2 Outbacks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just think of like that must have stimulated the whole world economy, right? Like now everyone's got these fast cars, but they're also getting like really big speeding tickets and stuff.
It's
Driving
good. It's
recklessly.
going for a good cause, though. You know.
Yeah, of course.
What do you think the future holds for the sport? It's still obviously on its...
So very open, everything. It's difficult to say. You know, Toyota is pushing really hard for hydrogen. Some manufacturers pushing really hard for electric, and just the sport that you don't know.
What's your thoughts on electric? Because obviously there was the Formula
No
E.
comment.
No comment. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
What about hydrogen?
I don't know what that is. So
I don't know what it is. That was my next question. Have you ever driven a hydrogen car?
You need a big tank in the car with it, basically. But you can use a similar engine, and then it's coming also different fuel. But for rallying and Formula One, it must go hydrogen direction basically to keep the noise and sound, but still be zero emotion mission. Basically, you know.
Zero emotion if it's electric too, I guess.
It's a really interesting time for all motorsports.
100%. But people who say that it's all full electric, you can forget it because the world is not ready for it.
That Formula E, in my opinion, was stupid. Sorry. Hopefully we don't sponsor any Formula E drivers. But I don't think we do. But it's just like the no sound, the whole thing, changing the battery out.
Yeah, but think about the countries we are going to. It's no chance it can hold.
We went
electric,
rallying
you know?
in Africa now, in Kenya.
That's sick.
You know, they don't even have the cars, the 2000 cars. You know, how are they ever going to get electric cars?
You can't even charge the phone, you know. So it's
but it's no joke.
Yeah.
Like the world is not ready for electric fully. You know, you go to big countries, you can take the like you do like Formula E. They bring it to the big cities for marketing, but rallying is just so much more. You go to all these small local places to get these gravel roads and stuff like Greece and all these things. You're never gonna promote an electric car out there. So the same with Formula One. They just can't go electric if you want to keep it alive.
it will be different directions.
So what's next for both you guys, father and son? What's next?
I'm planning Pikes Peak for next year. I want to try to take the record.
Yep.
There.
And what's that going to entail? What does that take to take the record?
Going fast, shaving off 10, 15 seconds.
Flat out. Travis was there this year. Ken did the Porsche. So we don't know. I'm working on it now. It's a 1,000 horsepower car anyway. So
Jesus.
we will see. And then of course I have offered to do Dakar. I can do many different sports, but again, we have to focus on the young guys. We have done.
You've had your fun.
I had my fun. So
You're still able to have fun, but
With me,
yeah.
This is the thing. You can enjoy. You can. When I had the team, also my teammate won the world championship. Still gave a good energy. It was in our team, and
that's the cool thing. That we have together. What is so cool and special is that we do it and we love it together. We have this passion for motorsport and we do it as a family. It's quite cool.
So all in on Oliver. That's the main thing now. And
Still, well, I did the World Championship this year, first time,
Yep.
and then still planning to do it next year, of course.
Perfect.
Still so young, so.
Well, we'll get you back next year when you've either got a championship or you're one step closer to the championship. Oli, Petter Solberg, we appreciate you a lot here at Monster Energy.
Cool.
We keep these things short, but we have a little lightning round that we finish with. That Danny works very hard on these questions, and you've got a
I can't
time
wait.
limit. You got a time limit, otherwise Monster Girls come running out. Just kidding.
No, don't tell me that. Yeah. Okay, so we wanted to know the best father-son moment you shared racing.
Race of Champions.
Race of Champions, yeah.
We got Race of Champions. All the best drivers from the world come, and they do it as a team, and we won it, the whole thing together, father son.
We won for Norway.
For no, yeah, actually. For
Oh,
Norway.
wow.
Yeah.
Not Sweden.
No,
No.
What was the best father-son moment outside of racing?
we don't have that. Racing is our life.
Great answer.
No.
Dancing.
We fishing.
dancing. Yeah.
We fishing together, quad biking, and
Quad bike
driving.
it's motorsport. We can't say that.
It's different.
No.
Who's a better fisher?
I'm a good fisher.
Really?
Yeah,
Usually it's like dad's always got to take it.
Yeah, but he's cheating, He's putting on some stuff on it, I don't know. Yeah, it's just coming,
Power bait. What's your favorite racetrack or race event in the world?
I haven't been so many as you have.
I personally, I say it again, he will be cocky now, but Australia, Perth Rally, I mean, it's incredible. New Zealand also, but I think Perth is just because of the nature, the stages and everything. It's best.
Rally New Zealand, I have to say. It's the only one I've done. I haven't done Australia,
Yeah.
so I don't know. But
Yeah, New Zealand's got sick terrain though.
yeah, New Zealand is cool.
When you do New Zealand, is it winter or summer?
Summer, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like NASCAR on gravel.
Yeah, that's tight.
Why are so many good rally drivers from Scandinavia?
Because we can do what we want.
What else can you do? It's forest.
There's not as many
Mountains.
We have no
speed
cities.
traps there.
We have no cities, only forest, only cars, Volvos,
No, but I think, we are coming, it depends where you're coming from, but
Yeah.
we are coming from a farm with animals and we're driving on the fields since we were born,
Yeah.
So I think automatically that's part of the thing. If you live in the city, it's maybe going go-kart and Formula One, it's... we are hardcore...
Farmer people.
No, I think you're right about the farming people because like we've had a lot of motocrossers and FMX riders and they all say the same thing from Australia. It's like, well, I grew up on a farm, so I have a dirt
Nothing
bike.
else to do.
Exactly.
It's like,
Flip a
I
dirt
can
bike,
build
get
my
paid
own
for it.
jumps. Okay. Who has better food, Sweden or Norway?
Oh, Norway for sure.
No, Sweden, definitely.
We have
Nor-
salmon and
Yeah, that's it.
Norwegian sausage.
Swedish meatballs.
Oh, I do
Yeah.
agree with
IKEA.
that one.
IKEA.
Swedish meatballs. While you're here, stop by an IKEA. Great Swedish meatballs.
That's right. Keep it authentic. Well, that's all the questions I have for you guys. Thanks so
Cool.
much.
Thank
Good,
you.
man.
We appreciate you, Brittany. Any last
Thank
words?
you. No, you guys are so inspiring. I saw your wife back there when you did your moment together. It really brought emotion. So I think it's really wonderful.
It's good. We are a big motorsport family and
Yeah.
we have so much passion and
It's all about passion.
You can tell.
Love and passion.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, go fast and take some chances, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Oli and
Thank
Petter
you.
Solberg.
Cool.
That's
Good
a
man.
wrap.
Unleashed with the Dingo and Danny. Fueled by Monster Energy.